Bit of an ordinary day Sunday weather-wise. As usual, it's windy. Just passed by some guy talking in some language I have absolutely no idea what he was speaking, and whether he was speaking to me or not, I don't think he was. He's talking on the phone, but it's weird these days. You've got someone speaking on the phone, you think they're talking to you directly, but they're not. A little bit of sun, it's nice. Just got to do some essential shopping before the day's out. I wouldn't mind a bit of grog. I passed on it yesterday. I was thinking about walking out and going and get some grog, but it's just got lazy again. Very low energy at the moment. Sucking on a strepsil, hopefully that'll help me. I don't know why, but I'll take anything at this stage. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about the US elections coming up. Not so much the result, because I'm absolutely convinced that Trump will absolutely crush it. Mainly because there's rioting in the streets, and that type of thing just really turns off people in the suburbs. So, and he has an incredibly strong supporter base who are very motivated and will come out and vote. So, in a situation where you don't have compulsory voting, I think he's got some major advantages over a candidate who just doesn't even seem to want to be in the public eye at all. Biden is just not there. Whether or not he's senile or not, he's certainly averse to publicity at the moment, and that's not really a good thing for a potential president. I seriously believe that the Democrats aren't even putting in a real effort now. It's been said by other commentators, but I really believe that too. The whole point is that they're waiting to lose the election, the initial election at the ballot box, and then claim that they won the election through the mail-in voting system, which is incredibly corrupted. It's been challenged many times and made invalid, and basically the Democrats want to actually contest the election in the law courts, so they're not going to accept the election. They've pretty well made that clear. Hillary Clinton said as much. I mean, I think she's a total lowlife personally and very corrupt, and the last person that can talk about gracefully accepting an election result. She didn't in the case of Trump. She really believed she was the anointed one, and that it was just a formality having an election. And she's a bitter and twisted woman. But she's not the only person in that category in the Democrats. I think it's a very, very ordinary party who tries to make out that they represent the less well-off in society, yet it's the party that is bankrolled by billionaires, most of who I'd walk across the road if they walk near me, I reckon. I just don't like these people. Apart from Elon Musk, he's about the only one in the top 4 anyway that has any credibility in my eyes. But yeah, I just think it's a very dangerous situation when you've got people in America who just won't accept the result of an election. They're itching for a civil war, I guess, and they might get one, which would be very sad considering they've got major challenges with the likes of China at the moment. It'd be nice to see America a bit more united. Maybe if military action took place against China, it might actually unite America. It's a fairly drastic way of doing things, but I still believe that China is a paper tiger, and if you actually did take them on, especially in a united front, they would crumble, because I think they're a very illegitimate regime as well, the paper tiger. But you could say the same thing about America at the moment, that it's a very divided society. You still have a choice at the electoral box, but if people undermine the democratic process, what are you left with? I mean, I think it should be something that's actually illegal. What things like Clinton says, we're not going to accept the result of an election. You shouldn't be allowed to say that stuff. You can certainly question the methodology involved with counting an election and other situations. I mean, but to just sort of not accept the democratic process, I think that's just going too far and is not really good. Well, Coles was totally packed out today. It wasn't very pleasant shopping. It's better to go during the week. And a lot of brain dead shoppers too, so people just sort of wandering into me and sort of, yeah. This is great. They've got this area all cordoned off, and it was actually spitting rain before and I couldn't get undercover, which you normally can do. And again, I asked what's going to be the great change. I don't see what they're actually doing here. So, it seems irrelevant, but yeah, I had issues there trying to pay for the groceries. I always have issues with Coles, whether it's the supermarket or the bottle shop. Either way, I have issues trying to use my credit card. Never at Woolworths. It's a pity Woolworths isn't here, because they're supposedly moving to Cairns Central early next year, but they were supposed to be here this year, so who knows if that's going to happen. Anyway, reminds me of waiting for the metro to be completed in Saigon. That's something that's been delayed for years as well. That's more about money though. They just haven't paid the contractors apparently, so there's been problems with finances. I guess it's not a rich country, so they've got hassles. Good news is at least they're dealing with a Japanese consortium in Saigon, whereas the Hanoi metro in northern Vietnam, that's actually with the Chinese. And big surprise, they had a major accident during construction where a local got, I think they got killed from falling debris. So, you know, it's typical Chinese, just slapdash. So that doesn't surprise, but yeah, I just don't know why Coles can't get their act together when it comes to card reading. I mean, it's pretty basic. You think they want the money and make it as easy as possible, but I had to actually also put my PIN number in. It was only, the bill was only about $30-something, and anything under 100 you should be able to just avoid that, but I had to swipe the bloody card and then put the PIN number in. It's just a pain in the ass. Just not used to doing it. Tap and go's great when it works. Real luxury. Yeah, so we've got some issues keep sort of bubbling up with Anastasia Palaszczuk and her hard-ass policy regarding border closures and people in distress who want to see dying relatives. She seems to think it's not going to affect her politically, but people are making a big deal out of the fact that she's favouring celebrities and AFL ahead of other people, and that's confirmed by Jeanette Young, who's supposedly the chief medical officer. I think she's totally incompetent, and she actually said we're favouring the others because of the money. AFL and celebs are given a free pass because they've got money. Isn't that charming? Great Labor government, I've got to say. Very egalitarian of them to actually favour the rich. I mean, it shows they've got no touch with the working class at all. They're just as bad as the Democrats in America. And I think she'll lose. I think she'll lose because of that corruption with Jackie Trad, and the way she's really alienated the rural sector with some very strong green policies that have affected how they can feed their livestock. I think things like that are going to come back to bite her. She might do okay in the southeast, but it may not be enough. So we'll see. It's a difficult one to pick, Queensland, because I heard a couple of women talking in, medical reception, and they were all behind the border closures. So she certainly does get support from a section of the population, and it's supposedly the majority, but we'll see, because she's getting some pretty bad publicity thanks to her ducking behind the chief medical officer. She's pretty gutless. She won't even take personal responsibility. She blames the chief medical officer. It's really pathetic. That's not leadership, Anastasia. So, and Morrison's going to be affected indirectly because his supposed national cabinet was supposed to make things easier for everybody, but it's actually made things worse. It's elevated the premiers ahead of him. It's been a real political blunder by Morrison, in my opinion, but my opinion of Morrison is not very high, considering he won't allow Australians to travel overseas unless they get permission. My God, what sort of a country is this? Since when do you have to get permission from the government to travel overseas? You don't have to in New Zealand, and they're very authoritarian there. It just puts into perspective how bad that policy is. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the arse end of Morrison, quite frankly. Sometimes he's very good with messaging, but that's about it. His policies are terrible, like the submarine policy. That's a shock. It's going to cost the country a fortune. And for some reason, it's only Sky News that apparently is questioning that. No other media outlets need to give it stuff. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it was really loud yesterday for a short time. But like I say, it wasn't a concert. I don't know what it was about. Political rally? Who knows? But it annoys me because it's the only time we have quiet around here is during the weekend. Because otherwise you've got the crash all the time. During the day, that is. So it's usually a good respite. It's been quiet today, thank God. And it has been quiet at night. My neighbours haven't kicked up, although they're definitely night owls. They've always got the balcony light on. It's weird. Different lifestyle. They're young. I mean, say they're probably in their mid-20s, I'd imagine. The girls maybe even younger. I just don't know. I'm just speculating.